One of the questions we get asked the very most is, do you have a therapist you can recommend for me? And while we wish that we knew of therapists in every single place, in every single part of the country, we don't. So what do we tell them instead, Mel?
We say check out BetterHelp because it's online, it's at a reasonable price, and you can be matched with a therapist within 24 hours. I've also used them, and they have been great. And if you don't like your therapist, guess what? Click, and get a new one.
Absolutely. It's so hard when you have an in-person therapist, if you're not clicking with them, to cut them off and get a new one. So that's not an issue with BetterHelp. So we always tell people to try BetterHelp. And if you use our promo code, which is
trybetterhelp.com/WWDN,
you get 10% off your first month.
Go ahead and try it out. That's trybetterhelp.com/WWDN. And you know what? I'm a big fan of doing therapy where you don't have to wear pants, but nobody knows about it.
Are you wearing pants right now, Mel?
I'll see you later. Bye. That's trybetterhelp.com/WWDN.
Okay, Mel, we have a fun guest today. Actually, I don't know. Are you fun?
I hope so.
Okay. We sometimes don't actually know very much about our guests. And so what if they actually turn out to be like very strange or only speak a different language? How would we know?
Well, then we'll use Google Translate. There are tools for this. I think it's fine. And strange, the stranger, the better. Why not?
That's true. Stranger, do you speak English, first of all?
Yes, but I grew up in Japan and I speak fluent Japanese.
No way.
I was 4 when my parents moved there, so we could do this whole thing in Japanese if you wanted to.
Then we will be the weird ones.
I'm trying to think if I know how to say no in Japanese.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I only know domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Different types of sushi. That's all I got. That's so cool. Tell us your name.
Beth Schenderlein.
Hi, Beth Schenderlein. Why did you grow up in Japan?
Well, my folks went there as Christian missionaries. They actually met there in the 50s and went back in the 60s with 5 little kids, and I was one of those 5.
How long did you live in Japan? Till how old?
24 years, till I was 28.
Holy cow.
Okay.
No,
We've stumbled upon something, Mel. I feel like this always happens.
I'm very well disguised Japanese.
Why did you come back?
My father passed away in 89, and I kind of lost my sense of what I was supposed to do. I worked with him. I was his interpreter. So I just kind of moved here in the emotional thing and then stayed 35 years.
Did your mom stay in Japan?
Yes.
Your mom was a widow.
Yes.
We have a lot to talk about. This is not going to be boring, Anita. This is going to be really great. In case you were wondering.
My mom's still alive. She's 102.
No way.
What?
In Japan?
And she's still in Japan?
No, she's in Springfield, Missouri.
When did she come back?
About 15 years ago.
Oh, okay. Okay. I was like imagining you shipping her over here when she was like 101 because she needed help. And you're like, get on the plane. And then they checked her boarding pass and they were confused because her, like the date of birth said she was 2 years old or whatever.
I know.
Beth, where do you live?
Eugene, Oregon.
Okay. We know that you grew up in Japan. We know that you speak Japanese. We know that your mom is 102. Tell us more about yourself. Like, what do you like to do? What's your job? Things like that.
Well, I put myself through college at 28 and graduated at 33. Got a job at a community college working with the international students, mostly Japanese. Met my husband at 39. He was 40. We were pretty desperate. So we met, got engaged in 3 days, and married 5 months later.
In 3 days?
Yeah. A friend set us up. We really didn't have time to waste.
Okay. This can either turn into a beautiful love story or this is the start of a true crime podcast. So which way did it go?
Well, he did have me watch. I married an axe murderer right after we got married. And I'm like, oh.
That's so funny. I just made my daughter watch that movie. Like, seriously, 2 days ago. I was like, this is the funniest movie. She did not actually think it was that funny.
I didn't think it was that funny either.
Yeah, because she might have been living with a killer. You never know.
Exactly.
But
She
you're
was like,
here,
ugh.
and I'm assuming since that this is a widow
Yeah.
podcast that he is no longer with us.
Yeah. So we were happily married, and then we had a child, and he hated his job, and he really never got the job he really wanted. And I was kind of a half ministry, half make my own living kind of part-timer. And so he stayed home and took care of her till she was in kindergarten, which he loved. He was a very good parent. And then he started working at the community college. He got a job as a teacher. And so we were working at the same place together. And we were raising this kid. And then COVID hit, and I lost my job because my job was all about activities with students. I did events, trips, everything to keep these kids busy outside the classroom and housing. And then he and my daughter went paddleboarding on his birthday and didn't come home.
Oh, yikes. Can we back up a second?
Sure.
Were you living in Eugene at the time? So
Yes.
this all took place. And does this husband of yours have a name?
Dave.
Dave. And does this daughter of yours have a name?
Sarah.
Dave and Sarah. Okay. And how old was Sarah at the time?
17.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, what happened?
Deep breaths. Yeah.
A tree was under the water and it snagged my daughter's rope, and she went under, and he went back to save her, and he died with her.
Oh my gosh. So I'm sorry, this is a dumb question, but what kind of a body of water is in Eugene? Is it?
It's a big river, and
Okay.
probably not the safest place to paddleboard, which a few people have told me since the accident.
Which is also not helpful. Like, thanks a
Oh
lot.
no. And then they
Okay.
told me how safe they are.
Is it not the best to paddleboard on because there are rocks? Is that why?
Trees, submerged trees.
Submerged street. Okay, so the stuff
That
sticking up.
cause, yeah, the roots and things and the branches, I think.
Oh,
But they had been doing it a lot. It wasn't their first time.
What year was
Right.
this again?
This is 2020. the year.
2020. Okay.
So this is like the escape from COVID too, when everybody was just doing everything
And all her
outside.
friends are putting things on Instagram of them skiing and then doing this. And she's like, well, I'm cool. I'm paddleboarding with dad down the river, and I'm not posting.
Because I'm spending the time doing the thing.
Yeah. Oh
No,
my
they were
goodness.
they lived life.
Tell us about Sarah. What was she like?
Oh, she was the spitting image of her daddy. And she was just this calm, very secure girl who I don't know, very easygoing, but she made A's and everybody loved her and her teachers loved her, and she had some good close friends, and she was kind of the stable one. She was a great kid.
Was she a senior in high school or was
Junior.
a junior in high school? Okay. And those two were just two peas in a pod, it sounds like.
Yes.
Yeah.
He adored her. She adored him.
How does it make you feel that both of them passed away together? I imagine that there are some mixed feelings there.
Very much.
Yeah.
I feel like they just kind of went on their merry way and left me behind.
How did you find out about this, about the accident?
I was waiting to take pictures of them on a bridge, a footbridge, and they never showed up. So then I called 911, and then I started walking home. It was about 2.5 miles. I had left the car for them to use where they were getting out of the river. And it was my husband's birthday, and we were going to have this dinner. But I knew something was wrong because she had her phone on her, and I kept calling it, and she wouldn't answer. So I walked home. I called my sister, and I called a good friend who lived close to the river. And then I came home, sat here in the dark until the doorbell rang and two sheriffs and a pastor friend showed up.
Oh man.
But I knew something was wrong.
Yeah, were you hopeful at first that they were going to find them and they were going to be okay, or were you just knew that the worst had happened? How can you even wrap your brain around that?
I don't know. It's just you just keep going, I guess. Doesn't make sense.
So were I'm so sorry to ask
That's okay.
this question. Were they missing in the river, or were
No,
they
their bodies
easily
were
to
there.
they were easy to find?
Yeah, in fact, when my friend went down to the river, the sheriffs were already there and she identified who they were. Someone had saw the paddle boards just floating and called 911.
Oh my
Oh,
In
gosh.
fact, I met that person at the pool like a year and a half later, just accidentally. And I was telling her while I was swimming back and forth, why do you just keep swimming back and forth? I said, well, I have to. I just have to keep going. And I said, this is what happened. She went, oh my gosh, I was walking with my son along the river that day and we saw the paddle boards and we called 911. Oh my gosh. And then she started telling me how it affected her. And I'm just like,
oh.
yeah.
She was traumatized and
Yes,
she needed your
yes.
support.
Yes.
Oh, the trauma dump. You're like, let me trauma dump back at you, woman. Mm.
Beth, did you say that you guys had one child?
Yes.
Okay, so you've lost your husband and your only child at the same time. First of all, I'm so, so sorry. I don't know how you're managing talking to us, first of all, and breathing. And second, will you just talk us and our listeners through some of the things you had to manage while dealing with a double death? Did you do funeral? Did you do memorial stuff? Like what, or did you do nothing because you were not okay?
Well, it was COVID, so we couldn't meet together. So in April, we recorded a small service at the church with some of Sarah's best friends and just very few people, 30 people maybe. And then we put it online on May 1st of 2021.
Hey guys, just checking in and want to say if you are enjoying this podcast
And you want to see it keep going, maybe it's helped you through your widowhood journey and you think that it might help others on their widowhood journey, you can support that cause by joining our Patreon.
some of the things that you get as a Patreon beneficiary are ad-free episodes, so you don't have to hear ads like this.
You also get exclusive content, and at a certain level, you might also get an exclusive t-shirt. You can only get that place.
That is true. It's pretty cool. There are 4 different tiers available, so check it out. It's patreon.com/WWDN.
And as an extra bonus, very often you get your names read by one of my kids, and they will do a terrible job with the pronunciation. And that's like a bonus, I think.
I think it's kind of the best. I would much rather hear somebody butcher my name than say it correctly.
A child butcher it than an adult do it correctly. Yep. So go to patreon.com/WWDN to keep our podcast going and support the widowed cause.
Yes! Thanks, guys! Back to our regularly scheduled program.
Oh, that's 2021 is a whole year later.
Well, no,
Yes.
5 months.
5 months. Oh, okay.
It happened December 23rd,
Oh,
before Christmas.
Wait. Right before 2 days before Christmas.
Yeah, that's my husband's birthday.
Oh, come on.
I feel
Beth, I hate
She
this
keeps
story. No
adding things.
offense.
I can show you this card that a friend sent me. And it says, sliding into the new year like happy holidays, but it says, cross it out like December.
That's a good friend.
I was going to ask about Sarah's friends because when you're 17, your friends mean more to you almost than your family does. And how, like, that's so awful for them too. And then they're looking to you for some sort of like, how do we deal with this as well?
I took her four best friends to the coast in June, and we just put some ashes together into the ocean
Mm.
and some roses and treat them to dinner. And then I can't handle being around them,
Oh,
Yeah.
but fortunately, they have each other.
mhm.
Yeah, they're all close. They were just one circle friends. So
Oh, that's really hard. Have their parents reached out to you, or
yeah,
has
yeah.
there been a lot of communication with their parents? Or
I wasn't very close to any of their parents. So I see them in town. They hug me, but they're not people I hung out with.
right?
So
So you lost everyone in your house,
yeah,
right? What kind of support system did you have? And it was COVID. Do you have close friends that live nearby?
I do. I do. So this one family really took me in. I mean, I lived here in the house. One of my nieces moved in with me from Arkansas. She lived with me for 3 months, but it was hard because all I wanted was my daughter, and she wasn't my daughter.
Hmm.
And so I just couldn't handle it. And so finally, after 3 months, I said, I think I better go solo. And I had never lived alone. I'd always had roommates, even though I was 39 when I married my husband. So I was scared to death of being alone. But I thought, wow, this is worse because I'm just missing my daughter every moment with her there. So I sent her away. So for 2 months, I tried. And I think I had the memorial service to work on and different things. And I think I was totally in just this denial, shock state of mind anyway. And then I broke my wrist hiking. I was hiking every day. And so first thing I thought when I broke my wrist was, oh, my new glasses, they're gone, but they weren't. And then the second thing I thought was, oh, this is a distraction. Maybe this is good. Because I had lost my job, I was in no shape to go back to a job. So then another niece came from Japan and stayed with me for 3 months. And she was much easier to be with. But then she couldn't handle my emotions, which I understand. She was only 21 or
Yeah.
22. So finally, she said, you know what? I can't stay here a year. I'm going home. So she went back to Japan. So then the great alone started in September.
The great alone, you guys, she put quotation marks around this. This is like, in great artists' lives when they have the periods. This is the great alone. Continue.
What? So, and I don't know. I'm here today, 4.5 years later. And
So how has it been being alone? Obviously, it's different, but without having somebody else in the house, were there ways where you could heal a little better than you could with somebody there?
yeah, I agree because I could listen to loud music. I could, listen to books. Yeah. It's a big house. We just bought it in June of 2020. It's kind of a upper level, lower level. And I had just watched the movie The Parasite with my husband and daughter. Did you watch that Korean movie?
That was the
And where this
weirdest movie.
family lived underneath this guy and were
The
living, and
rich
they didn't
people's house.
know. And I
Yeah.
kept on hearing sounds like someone's living down there. I know someone's
Yeah.
living there. Any noise. I'm too scared to go check. I think it's been good living alone because I've had to, face a lot of things for the first time. And now I'm pretty comfortable living here by myself. And I don't want someone living with me unless I really know I want them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you met your husband, you said you're 39,
Mhm.
and so that is enough time for somebody to get to know themselves,
Yeah.
right? Is that correct? And then you get married and you have your daughter. And so you do have this a title of mom, and part of your identity, I'm assuming, is mom because you were, but because you were single up until 39, do you find that some of that internal like independence of knowing who you are has been helpful through this hard time, or is it like not even it's a moot point because it was just a different phase in your life?
Yeah. Up to 39, I was just busy being with the international students, doing this and that. So I was just always going, and always hoping I'd find that guy. So when I found him, I'm actually pretty helpless. He said he'd never met such a helpless 39-year-old in his life.
Wait, why?
Oh, because I always surrounded myself with friends who were very capable and they did stuff for me. And I mean, seriously, changing a battery is even challenging, okay? So, you have to understand, I didn't know how to change oil. I mean, to check my oil in my car. I don't know how to pump gas. I grew up in Japan, and then I moved to Oregon. Nobody pumps their own gas here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't they do it for you?
Yes.
Well, so you don't need to know how anymore anyway.
So, I'm very, very helpless, okay? So I just like it. And then my husband took over all the finances and I didn't do anything. And suddenly I had to write checks again and balance checkbooks. And oh my gosh, I was just like, oh, I just need a guy to come save me. Please.
Wait a second.
Where is that guy?
In 2020, you're still writing checks?
I'm sorry. I don't have any more. I'm 63, okay? And I'm one of those technically challenged people. I do have an iPhone though. Here's my iPhone, okay?
Okay.
You're doing great.
I would have like keeled over if you would have pulled out your iPhone and the flashlight would have been on. That would have been like the best. Fun fact, I worked at a full service gas station for a summer, and so I am excellent at pumping gas and washing windshields.
Where?
You know
Your
where.
grandpa's?
Yeah. My grandpa had a gas station. It was full service and he needed his hip replaced, but he refused to. So one day my mom got annoyed with me. She told me to get in the car. She drove me to my grandpa's gas station. She said, "Get out." And I was like, "What?" And she said, "You're working here this summer." And I said, "Okay." And so I did. It was great. I loved it.
Ben, what did you do to get a punishment for an entire summer in just one day?
I mean, they paid me, so it wasn't really a punishment, but she was just like, "You need something to do. Get out." And so
Like,
I did.
stop making a mess in your area in the house.
Probably. I was 16, so it's not like, or maybe I was 15. So anyway. So you can call me Beth. I'll pump your gas any day. I'll be right there.
I'm learning, maybe.
I bet you are. I bet you're learning a lot of new things that you wish you didn't have to learn.
So, Beth,
Yes.
what do you do to keep going? Because you're obviously here. It's been 5 years, or will be 5 years at the end of this year. 4.5 years. What's helped you?
I hike every day. The mountain my daughter and I hiked every day in 2020. I have a bench there for the two of them.
Oh,
I go by the bench. I kiss the bench every morning. I did it this morning. I go swim a mile 5 days a week. And that really helps me. I don't know, it resets me. And I wasn't a swimmer. I was not a swimmer. I started swimming after I broke the wrist.
Oh.
So it's just been 4 years since I started swimming. I
Did
learned
you like
on YouTube.
learn?
Yeah.
You learned on YouTube?
Beth, you're awesome. You're not helpless. You got this. This is
You got
amazing.
YouTube.
Yeah, you could go hang out with Anita and she does all the same things.
We could swim a mile. Yes.
Oh, but seriously, swimming, it resets me. I come out there and I walk through that where those kids are at the reception desk and I look at them and say, I've been born again.
I've been baptized. Okay. So here's the thing about swimming. It's the only time for me when I have no external input, right? Because you can, but you can't listen to any music or podcasts or whatever, and nobody can talk to you. And then you have like this sensation of the water all on like all of your body, and it's usually cold water. So it's like you're getting a cold plunge and like sensory deprivation at the same time you're getting all the inputs. So
Anita, I hear we have a store.
Oh, we sure do. We've actually had it for quite a while. It's called the Snarky Grief Shop, and it's where you will find all of our best grief merch. That is, yes, a little snarky. For instance, it's where you will find the official widow card that you can pull and use at your convenience.
You can put it in your wallet, and anytime you need to use it, pull it out, play the widow card.
Yeah, we have glow-in-the-dark stickers. We have shirts that say, "Be nice, my husband is dead." We also have the ones that are not quite as jarring, so that you can wear them out in public and not feel weird. But sometimes you need that shirt.
I wear my "Be nice, my husband is dead" to bed because I'm a little scared to go in public with it. But you've worn it on airplanes before with your kids.
Yeah, every time we go to the airport, I wear that shirt because I'm just like, listen, I got to get all these kids through security. Just be nice to me. Thank you so much. And it's worked for the most part.
Some of the less snarky grief shirts are podcast shirts or Widow Wives Club. We also have Resilient AF, right, Anita? What else we got in there?
Yeah, which we're telling everybody who cares, like Mel's mom, that means American fork, because she can't know what it really means, guys.
Yeah.
Stickers and mugs and notebooks and just cool stuff that you can use to express your snarky grief. You'll find it by going to our website, shop.widowwedonow.com. There's a lot of W's in there, so just make sure that you've counted them and there's the right number.
We will link to that in the show notes, and it's also in our app, which you can get from the App Store. Can people get it from our regular website too?
Yes, if you go to widowwedonow.com, there's a link for the shop in there too.
Great. If you'd like to show your snark or have something a little more subtle, go ahead and check that out. Again, that's
shop.widowwedonow.com.
I recommend it for anyone. It's changed my life.
That's so cool.
Then I come home and eat whatever I want to eat. Then I try to go find fun things to do in the evening. And finally, I'm able to stay home in the evenings. But for, I don't know, the first 4 years, I had to go hang out with someone in the evening. I just couldn't be home.
I'm really curious about how the community treated you, because I feel like you would be like, oh, that poor woman, and then people wouldn't know how to treat you or what to say to you, and so you might even like start to be a pariah just because you had the worst thing happen to you. Please say that didn't happen.
That did not happen.
Okay,
People
good.
have been so good to me.
Okay, good.
Oh my gosh. I was just looking through cards this morning. So many people and so much money. And it's just amazing. Yeah. It's a good community.
Since your husband's death was out of nowhere, had you guys talked about things like passwords or the finances? You were just thrown in the deep end, literally, to figure this stuff out. Wow. You'd never even had a conversation about the quote end years?
Nothing. I kind of remembered where he told me once he had put some keys and some things, but we had just moved. And I thought, where in the world did he put it? So my sisters and I, it was like a hunt. We went through the whole house. We finally found it. I finally found it. That had keys to the safe and, keys to different things. And just, he did have a printout of, he had like 10 bank accounts. The guy was always trying to find a freebie here and there, and like 10 credit cards. Use this one for this month, and this one for then. Oh my gosh.
No.
Did you cancel all of them?
I did.
My dad had a lot of different accounts because of, I don't know, his business. And then, you're married and you have a joint thing. And then maybe he has his own, I don't know. But we were like, Dad, come on, can you just have one or maybe two, like one for your business, one for whatever? And it's like, no, it was so crazy. So that's really smart that you canceled them and have your own one thing.
I'm sure he's looking down from wherever he is saying, oh, honey, you can save money here. You can make money there. Oh, honey.
Those people who are totally into the airline, like the credit card miles with the different
You're like the
Like they sign
miles
up.
guy.
Yeah, they like sign up and then they spend $10,000 and they cancel it. I can't. I just am like, how can people be so organized? I would have 15 different credit cards and the bill collector would show up and like take my children or something because I forgot to pay those.
Hmm.
I don't understand how people can do that. I wish I could. I
Oh, I think it
can't.
was his hobby.
Yeah. Did he get any free things for it? Did you get any airline miles out of it or at least? No. Okay.
No. In fact, one credit card, they wouldn't let me pay it off. They said, "You're not Dave Schenderlein. You can't." And I'm like, "What?"
What?
It only had like $900 on it. Okay.
That's
And just because it was the only one that didn't have my name on it.
They won't accept a
Okay.
payoff from a random stranger that
I
happens to
even
be
had
his wife?
a lawyer. I had a lawyer write them a letter. They still wouldn't accept it.
So then how did the account get closed eventually? You
Oh,
just are
no.
like, "Hey, if you're not letting me pay, then you can eat the
and I'm
$900."
$900 richer. I hope you went out to dinner
Dang, I
by
wish that
yourself.
that situation happened to me with Scott's stuff. I was on nothing of his, but
They
got to
still
pay
made you
for it.
pay.
Yes.
Oh
Maybe it's
man.
because you're living in, maybe it's because you live in Oregon. I should have moved there.
You should. Good place.
Beth, you said you lost your job before this. Do you work again or are you okay? You don't need
No,
to
I'm
work?
okay. The job would have been hard to go back to when they opened it up because my husband's office was right down the hall from me. And
Mm.
I just, there was a lot of stressful parts to my job. And having my husband as someone I can talk to all the time and not having, I just couldn't, yeah, I don't deal with stress very well. So
Or
fortunately,
pumping
I don't,
gas.
Or batteries.
fortunately, yeah, I don't have to go back to work. So I did try a job about a year and a half into the journey. Someone thought it would be a good distraction. So I went at the front desk at a hotel in town, a nice, beautiful boutique hotel, and I hated it. And it was way too stressful because I had to have an iPad and an earpiece and the phone. And then, oh, it was like multitasking totally with
I have an idea.
technology.
What if you get a job as a hiking guide for the mountain that you hike every day? Full analog, no digital anything.
You can
Yeah.
even take them by the hand and just like don't even have to talk to them.
So
Yeah.
I quit in 5 hours.
So you hike every day and you swim every day. And you've listened to our podcast because we know that
I
because you
do. I
reached out
love
to
it.
us. So you've heard different stories of people and their varying energy after and during grief. Has that happened to you where you've super tanked with energy? Because hiking every day and swimming every day is not easy.
No, no, it helps me and it helps me sleep at night. I'm exhausted. So I sleep through the night most of the time.
What do you do after you've hiked and swam? What how do you tell us like a typical day for Beth?
Um, so some nights I'll go play cribbage with a bunch of people
That is
at
a
a
mystery to me.
brewery. I learned that from YouTube too.
Can you explain cribbage to us? Because
Cribbage
I
is a
don't know what it
card
is.
game, and then you peg your points. A
Yeah.
lot of old men play it, and they all like me.
Okay, all of those games, like my grandma would play games like that, and I just remember the words like canasta, cribbage. What are some of the other
Bridge,
bridge? Yeah,
mahjong. Those are all
mahjong.
like
Do you
the
know
community
all
No,
of
no,
games
no,
or
no,
those?
whatever.
no, no. I don't. In fact, I didn't even know how to play cribbage. I just saw a bunch of people playing it at a brewery, and I said, "Well, I need something to do in the evenings. Maybe I should go learn this game." So I YouTubed it and learned it and started practicing online. And then I showed up. I said, I'll make a fool of myself, but I need someone to be with, and here's some people.
Is it actually a bunch of old guys and you? I love it. Those are my favorite people, the old guys. A bunch of
They
Randy Randalls and me.
call me darling. Hey, darling.
Aw.
Oh,
What about during like the time between exercising and cribbage?
Oh, I eat. And I talk to friends. I talk to my sister in Missouri almost every day and try to, I don't know, I cook maybe sometimes. for a while, I was walking the streets of Eugene just aimlessly.
Mm.
And it's a pretty safe city. And I would see all these homeless people and think, what is their story? But I don't do that anymore.
Did you ever ask them?
No, I was too afraid.
I have a question, Beth, because you mentioned that your parents were Christian missionaries, and I kind of feel like we got hints that your Christianness remained with you even after you left Japan. Yes, is that true? Yes.
It was.
Okay, how has that was how has your religious beliefs have they helped you? Have you moved away from them? Tell me about your relationship with religion.
Well, my husband and I had moved a little bit towards being more agnostic. I mean,
Mhm.
we kind of came to this thing, well, Jesus is the best way for us, but we're not going to say this is the only way,
Okay.
which is how we were. So then the accident happened. And then all of these wonderful Christians were just telling me, God allowed it, there's a reason. And I just, no, let's not bring God into the equation. You know, I have enough to be angry about without having to be angry at God.
Mm.
So I would try to go to church, but I would just cry my eyeballs out, especially when they would sing songs about the goodness of God and oh, you've been faithful to me. And I'm just like, no, you haven't. And so I just couldn't do it. It was just painful. And I tried and I tried. And I just came to, what? I'm uncertain about everything, and that's okay.
Mm.
And I'm just going to be okay with being uncertain. And I still meet with a pastor friend maybe every other month, and he's very cool about everything. And he just keeps telling me that he and his wife are so proud of me. And I say, thank you. And he knows I don't hide anything from him. And I've made a lot of stupid mistakes, and I've done a lot of things that are not Christian, as far as values, moral, I don't know. So, but I'm just at the point where, yes, these people are wonderful and meaningful, but I can't say yes.
Mm. How does your mom feel about that?
She's 102. She can't even remember how Dave and Sarah died. So when I see her, that's the only
Oh,
question she asks me, how did they die?
oh, that's so
Oh,
hard.
I don't see her that.
how long has she been kind of in that mind space? Was she like that
Oh,
when the accident
yeah,
happened?
yeah.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. That's like a whole nother thing that you're dealing with, like aging parents. And that's like not aging, that's like aging parent um on one end. And then you've got all of this on the other end. That's like just a lot to deal with. I also can't help but notice while we're talking that you lost your job, which is one of your identities, is, our occupations and what we do for a living. You lost your identity as a mother. Your only daughter died. You lost your identity as wife because your husband died. You lost your identity to a certain extent as Christian because you're in this state of like, I don't know, but this isn't giving me a lot of comfort. What what do you have left? Like, who are you? And did you reclaim some of those titles, or are you just cribbage master now?
No, I'm not that either. In a sense, it's kind of redefining yourself totally as I'm a widow, I'm a bereaved parent, I'm someone who's going to make the most of it if I can, and not just sit there and be a victim for the rest of my life. I just want to be authentic. I think that if anything defines it, I want to be real. I'm not going to pretend to be something I'm not anymore.
Yeah, that's all you have energy to do when you go through something like you've been through, and you've been through a lot of things. Are
Yeah.
there things you're looking toward in the future, or are you mostly in a day by day, like I do my routine and then that's it?
I've started volunteering and I'm doing more and more. As you know, Eugene's a track town, USA. So I've been volunteering at track meets. I'm going to go to a big world track meet in Tokyo in September and volunteer there.
Awesome.
I volunteer at an elementary school with kids reading. I volunteer at the library with an English class for internationals and immigrants. I don't I don't know. I'm just kind of seeing where life leads me, and try to be open to new experiences. I'm a people person. I love to be with people. So, but if something's not working, I immediately say, "Oh, that didn't work. Sorry." I mean, I tried another like Meals on Wheels. I couldn't do it. I just could not do it. It just didn't work for me. So I said no. So I've learned that it's okay to say no, and
It's interesting because the things that you're talking about, they're harder to make a nice, easy bundle tied up with a ribbon, with some of those identities. Like mom is really easy identity, wife is really easy identity, but you're like authentic person, human of the universe is a little bit trickier to like make it be categorized really
no,
neatly and
yeah.
simply. And maybe part of that too is because you're just like it's not neat and simple right now. Like it's just really messy and I don't know who I am or what I am or where I belong or how to figure all of this out yet. So I'm just existing authentically and maybe we don't even need titles. I don't know. But maybe they'll come easier at some point in time.
I think the best advice I got was from an 83-year-old man whose partner was in hospice at that time, right after the accident. He said, "Beth, just think of the next 2 hours. That's all you have to worry about." And I thought, oh, that's manageable.
Yeah.
That's good advice.
It really was.
Are you still at 2 hours or has that expanded
Oh
as time
no,
has
I
gone
can
on?
plan ahead. I have
Okay.
a friend coming from Japan with 5 kids staying at my house for 2 weeks. I did that last year too. It was a blast. It was a stretch, but I can do it.
Hmm.
Um, I take them all over Oregon. I've been to Japan twice. And I can plan ahead.
I need to know how close you are to Tillamook, Oregon.
That's on the coast. Oh, cheese. You guys are into cheese. You Americans. Oh, I forgot that question. I like
That's
the pepper jack.
um can I just tell you something so random, but it is a marriage between the cheese issue and the Japanese issue. Mel and I went to Australia
Uh-huh.
twice. The first time we went, we stopped at a sushi restaurant that claimed to be the best sushi in Australia or
Uh-huh.
Brisbane, maybe. And one of the sushi rolls we had American cheese melted on the top of it.
No, 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 no.
It was not good.
And it came around in these on a conveyor belt in these little
Yeah.
Oh,
plates. It was a
Yeah.
little very sketchy.
yeah, yeah. And we laughed and laughed and laughed because we were like, they cannot sit here and claim that this is the best sushi in Brisbane because it has cheese on it. Even we have our limits, I guess.
Yeah.
If you ever get invited to Japan, take me with you.
Okay.
No, I want to go there.
I do too.
Yeah. My little brother lived in Japan for a couple of years, so
Yeah.
yeah. I can't remember where though. Tokyo, I think. That's I guess where a lot of people are. Uh, Beth,
Yes.
can you talk to us a little bit about the different grief you felt for your daughter versus your husband? Was it easy to differentiate, or did it just feel like one big blob?
Sometimes I wonder if I really grieve for my daughter.
Mm.
I sometimes don't think I allow myself to go there. And that I just let myself grieve for the loss of my husband. Because in practical situations, I miss him a lot as my backup person, my best friend to tell me. But then when I don't know. I don't know. It's hard. I mean, in dreams, when it's a dream about him, then it's him. But then if it's a dream about her, I think it's almost twice as painful.
Mm,
I don't know the answer to that.
that's so interesting. And you kind of wonder, like, do you need to grieve linearly one of them and then the other one of them, like one needs to be closed before the other one can open? But that doesn't seem logical either.
I found the diary my daughter kept for 6 months in the third grade that she never
Oh,
told us about.
cute.
Oh,
Oh,
it has a heart on it.
it's
And
perfect.
it's so cute. And I typed it all out as I read it. And it was so sweet. And it was I mean, so true. And it was just adorable. She said
Oh,
there was a boy in her class that she liked, and it's all about him. And she says, I know. She goes, so a girl named Stella said, Sarah, I think Ben likes me. She said, wow. She writes, I think that might be true, but maybe not. So I know. A boy will say he hates the girl he likes the most. So I went up to Ben. I said, Ben, who do you hate more, me or Stella? And Ben said, you, Sarah. And she writes, I'm so
She was smart.
that's so tricky and sweet. And then it also makes it all the more heartbreaking because she didn't get to realize her full, adulthood and you get to watch her friends grow up and take all of those steps and she's not there, graduating from high school and getting married and going to college and in whatever order that was not meant to be. Like you get married and then you go to college. But yeah, that's really hard. Whereas Dave had reached adulthood and was capable of doing all the pumping the gas and opening the credit cards. So he'd had a lot of experience in life. But
glad. Yeah. It's, graduations, Mother's Day, all those are very hard.
mm. You mentioned that you had connected with one of our friends.
Yes.
Tell us about
Nancy
that.
Salzman. So I heard of her interview with you guys. And then I met someone from Soaring Spirits in town, and they actually talked to Nancy about me. And then Nancy sent me her book signed from one radical survivor to another radical
Oh,
survivor, which made me really happy. And, till I listened to her interview, I had never heard anyone who had lost everyone.
yeah.
And so that kind of gave me some hope that I'm going to be able to make it through this. And then I got to meet her a year ago in June and her husband. And then this year again, I got to meet her. No, she's like my hero.
That's
So
amazing.
thank you for having her
Yeah.
on your podcast.
When you were telling us that you had to drive around at night to go find things to do, it reminded me of Nancy because I think in her interview with us, she said the same thing.
And watching the crudest, stupidest TV shows at night. Like, it all, Netflix and I are best friends.
I will
Podcasts,
bet.
audiobooks, Netflix, music. I think those four things have kept me being alone.
Yeah. And then swimming is the only time that all of those things are turned off. So I'm so glad you got to connect with Nancy. It's surprising how much just knowing somebody else who's had a similar situation is still going helps you to feel like, okay, because probably listening to a lot of our guests, you're like, yeah, but, yeah, but it's
Mhm.
not the same.
And there is no group where there's someone who's lost, but really, there is no support group.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's okay. I don't want there to be I don't want more people out there like me. So.
I bet there's somebody listening today who's saying, yeah, me too, and is feeling the same way. So we might get an email to connect us to her, them, he to you. So
Sure.
you never do know.
Well, you guys' podcast is just amazing. I love it. I laugh. I listen to it while I'm falling asleep, and then I re-listen to it the next night because where I fell
Hey,
asleep.
hey Mel, we put her to sleep.
You could be. Oh no, seriously.
Perfect.
Falling asleep. I was talking to my husband every night, and suddenly I needed some voices. I really did. So I started listening to podcasts every night just to fall asleep.
Hmm.
We are here for your lullaby
Thank you
needs.
so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
We're happy to take on any
I
role.
love your voices.
Aw.
Beth,
Yes.
you're going to Tokyo. You've
Yes.
got plans for the future. Do you think that you're going to make it? Do you feel like life is going to be worth living again?
Yes.
Do you feel like you're there now, or are you still on the edge of wondering that?
Um, I don't know because I might
Okay.
fall apart tomorrow.
Yeah.
I live in the moment, and if someone says, "How are you?" I say, "I'm fine right now," but then 2 hours later, I might be in the depths of despair. But I bounce back a lot quicker now, and I know that my emotions will be back to good. That this heavy feeling right now is not forever, and I think that's what I think I'll be okay. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I'm a lot less needy, let me tell you. A year and a half into this, I started dating. Oh my gosh, I have 2 years of the craziest stories that I should write a book about because let me tell you, I never dated until I met my husband. One guy I dated before. One guy.
Okay.
I had strict parents. So, but I'm not doing that anymore. I'm a lot calmer.
We need to hear a crazy dating
Yeah,
story.
can you give us
Oh, yeah.
one
You
of your
can't
best?
just
Can you
put
give
that
us
out there.
hints?
Oh, let's see.
Where to start?
Okay. I met them all out in the wild, okay? Nobody online. I'm too scared to go online. Um, I don't know, I saw a lot more in the guys and they were just friends for benefits kind of dudes. And I didn't realize that until, a month into it. And I'm just like, oh, okay, bye. Or they were so emotionally available, I couldn't stop the tears on their sides. And I was just like, okay, maybe you should grow up a little bit.
You're like, I literally lost my job and everyone living in my house. So
One guy told me
come
that
on.
grief didn't belong to me exclusively. I was like, okay.
Well, true, but
Thanks.
also like let's look at this context of your life. And I mean, we talked to a lot of people, and there are not a lot of people that have been through the
Well, his
circumstances
grief
you
was me breaking up with him.
have. Oh, that's perfect.
Arf.
Yeah. Goodbye. Pass.
Next.
Go away.
Oh my
Whoa.
goodness.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
So no more dating now, even the old
No
men
more.
of the
No,
cribbage
not
games.
until no. They have to be pretty vetted, let me tell you, because I have no judgment, no discernment. I was just waiting for a guy to save me.
I'm glad that you've at least like come to terms with, that you need to not trust yourself when it comes to men. Like that might be a big step. Like, I need some help here. I need somebody to help me make decisions.
Yeah.
Just in my head. Beth, is there anything else that you feel like you want to share with us?
Dave had a sign in his office. And when I went and cleaned out his office, I brought it home and put it in my kitchen. And it says, life is a process and your participation is required. Just show up. And I read this every day. And I said, okay, I can show up.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm trying to do is just show up for life and be open to new experiences. I'm going to go volunteer at the Oregon Country Fair with a bunch of hippies, and I'm not a hippie at all. I might be the only one there that's never smoked weed. So,
I think between all of your volunteering stories and your dating stories, you should definitely write a book.
but each guy tells me, don't put me in the book. I'm like, oh, but you're the most interesting.
Well, then don't do stupid things.
And you'll be safe. Beth, we have a question that we like to end with, but I think we have to change it up today, Mel.
Yeah, because you answered it, right? You said pepper jack.
Yeah. What's your favorite sushi?
Ooh, I love maguro, the tuna. Yeah, spicy tuna. I just went and had some.
I was going to say, do you have some good places in Eugene?
Yes, we have a great restaurant in Eugene.
Better than Brisbane?
No cheese.
Fine.
Come to
No,
Eugene. Come see me.
I would love to come to
I
Eugene.
have a big house.
I know there's a family living in the basement. Thank you so much, Beth, for joining us. And we hope everybody listening has enjoyed Beth's story and can relate with some part of it. And if you are somebody who has lost everybody, just know that you're not alone in that, and there are more of you. Um, if you want to keep the podcast going, check out our Patreon. It's patreon.com/WWDN.
You could buy us tacos at buymeacoffee.com/widow we do now.
We always love a nice rating and review. And until we get to talk to you again, I'm Anita.
I'm Mel.
I'm Beth.
And we're just two young widows and one widow who's learning all the new skills, including gas pumping and cribbage. And we're all just trying to figure out widow
We
do
now.
Mel.
Yeah,
We have a major announcement to make.
go for it.
Did you know that right now all plans on Mint Mobile are what?
$15 a month.
Okay, that's truly ridiculous. Do you know how much regular cell phones are?
Yep.
$1 bazillion a month. 15 is less than that.
New customers get 3 months of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month if you sign up right now. And guess what? I use it. I love it. I've used it all over the country, all over the world, and it's great. And if you're wondering about phones, they have those available as well, or you can just port your own number and your current phone over to Mint Mobile. They make it so easy.
So if people are interested in trying out Mint Mobile, how can they go about doing that?
Go to trymintmobile.com/WWDN. And you know what's interesting? When my dad died, we actually put his phone on a Mint Mobile plan because it kept his number going, but it was $15 a month. So there you go. And there's different storage plans, but you might as well just get the unlimited because it's $15 a month.
Absolutely. All right, go try it today.
That's trymintmobile.com/WWDN.